What's up, everybody? This is Mike Manzer with another Manzer Faust Productions video. And this week, this Friday, is going to be Vinegar Syndrome's halfway to Black Friday sale. And one of my favorite sales of the year. As you know from watching my channel, I love Vinegar Syndrome. They are very close to my heart and to my apartment. So I have been buying from them for years. This is my second year as a subscriber. And yeah, so this is an exciting time for me. I look forward and save up as best as I can for this time every year. And yeah, so I wanted to join in with everybody else in this collector's sphere and talk about give you all some recommendations, talk about some of my favorite releases from Vinegar Syndrome over the years. And then tomorrow, because of all their massive amount of partner labels, I am going to do a video on the partner labels. And that one will probably be a little looser, less of a structure, just go through each label and talk about some of my favorite releases that I have from those. I don't have every label, but the ones that I do have, I'll talk about. So that should be good. So don't forget to tune in tomorrow and get some of that. And if you live in Connecticut, over by Bridgeport area, make sure you get into the archive this weekend. Go show some love to people who are doing an excellent job at putting out amazing movies, giving the public access to some great cinema, and buy a couple of old VHS while you're there, you know, just get in a couple of titles you might not be able to get otherwise. And for those of you not in Connecticut, that is no excuse not to go on to Vinegar Syndrome's website and go through a few of the titles I am going to mention here. And they got some great titles coming out for the sale. A lot of them that have not been announced yet. So if you want information on that, jump on the site. I'll leave a link down in the description. And go support people putting out amazing cinema. They have been killing it for the last bunch of years. So, I got a 1 box set and 10 releases. 3 of them are from last year, 2022, and the other 7 are from the past, 7 or 8 years. So, this year's releases, anything past January will not be discounted. If you're looking to buy anything at the sale and you want to get stuff that is discounted, anything from last year and before should be available. Anything before January of this year. So that's what I'm going to talk about. So, diving in to a few of my favorites from last year. Probably one of the most exciting releases from last year. I totally flipped when I saw this, and it's a classic. One that was available on another label. I believe it was Draft House, which I don't have that copy. It kind of went out of print pretty quickly from what I remember, but yeah, this is a classic in the so bad it's good, over the top, fun, goofy 80s action movies, and that is Miami Connection. This is a 4K release. Just gonna say this up front, luckily all of the 4K releases are not purely UHD. They do come with a Blu-ray, and so if you just have Blu-ray, you have not jumped on the 4K yet, you can still definitely pick this up. And this movie is a blast. there's not much I need to say about it. If you are familiar with So Bad It's Good and crazy 80s action movies, you will know quite a bit about Miami Connection. Um, the band in this is ridiculously catchy. The songs are just dumb as shit, but they will stick in your head, man. You know, uh, still to this day, I cannot stop thinking about Against the Ninja. Friends forever, little bit together. It's just hilarious. The dialogue is insane. There's like characters who are dubbed, and it's terrible dubbing. I love Miami Connection. It's a blast. Um, just the characters are ridiculous. Just everything about it is solid. Great ninja, Miami, over the top action. I love it. Miami Connection. So, kind of in a similar vein, but more of a, I just think it's more of a straight ahead great action film. Vinegar Syndrome, the last year, year and a half, has been doing a great amount of these Hong Kong films. A lot of Category 3, but a lot of them that are just classic Hong Kong action films that haven't been as available as they should be. So, and this is one of the big names of those films. This is Righting Wrongs with company favorite Cynthia Rothrock. She's been having a lot of releases through the Vinegar Syndrome Archive label, and I didn't pull a lot of those because a lot of the ones that I really like are pretty much out of print. But if you find a copy, I definitely recommend Champagne and Bullets. That one is a blast. So there's the cover art. Get this nice booklet, which I remember people sort of complaining about the artwork on the booklet, but I enjoy it. It's pretty goofy. It reminds me a lot of those like kind of Guyana style posters. I think it's Guyana or Guinea. I don't remember, but you've seen the kind of ridiculous posters that they have. So yeah, Righting Wrongs. This is great. Cynthia Rothrock, I believe, doing Bao. Just fun. Martial arts action. And what's cool about this disc is it features a never before on disc documentary called The Best of Martial Arts. From starring John Saxon, and it has a bunch of great footage and interviews with I can never say Yelbro. Jackie Chan has some great stuff on Bruce Lee. Solid release. The book was really cool too. You get a lot of great information on Hong Kong cinema. Righting Wrongs, classic. And probably my and a lot of other people's favorite release from last year. Just a blast of a movie. I was so happy to discover this. Amazing cast. Just over the top. They released the sequel this year as well, and at some point I will talk about that sequel. I adore both of these movies. That is Freeway. I believe this is from '96, starring Kiefer Sutherland, and I can never remember her name. Reese Witherspoon, which is kind of crazy. See Reese Witherspoon young in one of these type of movies, but this is a blast. I don't know if the slipcover is still available, but it is pretty cool. It's the newer design slipcover that they've been using. which did get some complaints at first, but I like it. It works. You know, it's a little bit smoother and glossier than before. But yeah, Freeway. So this is a modern retelling of Little Red Riding Hood. You know, the classic story. So, but this puts it in definitely like a modern day setting. This young girl is going to find her grandmother. Her mother is involved with a kind of shitty drug dealer kind of guy who tries to get her to do drugs and frequently molests her and a lot of other creepy kind of stuff. So she ends up going, getting into some trouble in those situations and having to serve some time. Eventually breaks out and, you know, trying to get to her grandmother's to, you know, see if she can help her out. And she's got two guys chasing her, and while she's hitchhiking, comes in contact with Kiefer Sutherland over here, who is a con artist, acting as if he's a school teacher, just to lure in people and manipulate them. And she ends up, you know, attacking back and escaping him. But in the, you know, in the situation, she has people coming after her because it is believed that she tried to murder him and rob him to get his money. And yeah, so this is kind of her getting her revenge and also outrunning this sort of serial manipulator, rapist kind of. They definitely based Kiefer Sutherland's character very much on the Ted Bundy archetype. And the director of this film also did a film about Ted Bundy that was released through Vinegar Cinema Archives. Have not picked that up yet. I did see it years ago. I can't remember much about it, but I remember enjoying it. So, yeah, great performances all the way through. Amazing cast, and if you do pick this up and enjoy it, I definitely recommend the second one. It is ridiculous in its own way. These movies are not politically correct in the slightest, so if, you know, you got problems with that, obviously, proceed with caution. But yeah, Freeway. Awesome, awesome release. And that's on 4K as well. So, I want to jump back to the past and talk about some of my favorite releases from the back catalog. And these will all be 50% off during the sale. So, you know, I suggest picking up anything that looks interesting to you. So, starting off with one of the early releases that I adore, and this has always been kind of in my wheelhouse due to Trauma releasing it on one of their big box sets back in the day. You get like 10 movies for $10. And this one was always fun. I appreciate it now more with the HD release of it, and that is Nightmare Weekend. And this is ridiculous film. This is like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's got crazy technology gone wild elements. You got like a weird puppet character who's like in love with one of the other characters and kind of does their bidding, if you want to call it that. You have this weird like cult aspect to it, I guess. Like lots of weird mind control and weird technology. You got this ball that is sort of like a play on the Phantasm kind of ball, you know, going around killing people and stuff. It's just, this movie's ridiculous. It is some of the craziest deaths, like kill scenes ever. Like just weird ass fucking movie, and definitely a good you know, poster child of the ridiculous shit that Trauma is known for releasing, and they've done quite a bit of those classic Trauma cheapy DVD releases. You get a lot of great special features, as you always do with Vinegar Syndrome. So if you have like a stomach for these ridiculously over the top, just nonsensical, fun 80s horror flicks, Nightmare Weekend is a jam. Definitely recommend it. Another over-the-top silly one. This is one of the first ones I picked up when I first started buying from them. And this is Psycho Cop Returns. This is a glossy slipcase, man. This must be like one of the earlier ones, because, yeah, this is over the top with the gloss. Yeah, Psycho Cop Returns, sequel to Psycho Cop, which is a film that's not really readily available as far as I know. But this is a blast, over the top, just goofy action. Basically, the premise is you have a office building that the workers there have shut it down in order to have this over the top bachelor party with strippers and stag films and terrible 90s needle drop music and just ridiculous. The cop is like this over the top Satan worshipping like maniac who speaks a lot in puns. He kills somebody and the puns are just moan-inducing but hilarious in their own way. He's definitely channeling quite a bit of Bruce Campbell, but definitely just a parody version of Bruce Campbell. The director of this is Adam Rifkin, who had another movie last year I was gonna pull, but I'm not that big a fan of it, called The Invisible Maniac. It's a great film, but I don't know. The other three just stood out to me more, and this is just fun. This is ridiculous. Definitely one of my favorite releases from Vinegar Syndrome. Psycho Cop Returns. Gonna have to flip the flip on that. But next up, this is a pretty fun one. This is an anthology kind of based around a train. Kind of a strange concept. Night Train to Terror. So this is all about a train, basically purgatory, taking it either heaven or hell, and you get all of these weird kind of set pieces on the train of this band. And again, I was talking about Miami Connection, the songs will get stuck in your head. This goddamn song is fucking sadistically earwormy. Like, holy shit. God damn it, I hate this song, but I love it at the same time. It's completely just it's insane. And on top of that, this is an anthology. So basically on this train, you have God and Satan basically playing cards and making bets with one another, who is more worthy of the souls of these people in this awful band. And they have three stories that they concentrate on, which are, kind of these people that are going between good and evil. Just ridiculous fun. The stories themselves are great. Just everything about this works as a cheesy, just what the fuck kind of movie. Definitely goes with Nightmare Weekend as well, just being just bafflingly silly and over the top. Great kills throughout as well. The God and Satan kind of card game aspect is a lot of fun as well. There's like this kind of lurch, like stone-faced kind of train conductor character that's a lot of fun throughout the movie. Very monotone kind of delivery on him. Just fun. Night Train to Terror. It's a classic. I believe that's a very early release too. So. Next up, one of my favorites, again, of a low-budget kind of region style filmmaking, and also great for its over-the-top creature effects and ridiculous, goofy-looking creature, terrible dialogue. It's a fun movie. There's a couple of elements of it that might put a couple of people off. I will warn you, there is some assault of a kinky nature in this that might trigger some feelings in people. So again, proceed with caution. But Night Beast, and this is the Don Dohler classic. There is your ridiculous monster. And what I like about Night Beast is it wastes no fucking time in showing you the monster. Like, you get the Night Beast, like, right from the get-go. And he is insane, shooting people with this ridiculous laser gun and stuff. And he's basically being pursued by these kind of ranger, mounty kind of cops and stuff. And this is just ridiculous. The characters are over the top and goofy, and the bad guy character is just one of the most like fucking just awful, unlikable people on the planet. The two cops have a good chemistry, even though their dialogue and acting is atrocious. This is probably my favorite of the Don Dohler films. It's a blast. Very, very fun regional lo-fi kind of film. And yeah, it will go well with the box set I'm going to talk about in a little bit. So, Night Beast. Another great So Bad It's Good, and also a great What the Fuck Am I Watching? And also a great feature from somebody who was not typical to, slasher, horror movie kind of fare. He's more known in kind of the outsider music world. That's Tiny Tim in Blood Harvest. And I love Blood Harvest. I've talked about it a few times in other venues. I used to have a podcast where I did a top 6 list of my favorite So Bad It's Good films, and Blood Harvest was definitely high up on there. You get Tiny Tim as Marvelous Mervo, this ridiculously pervy, weird clown, always dressed in brightly colored outfits, singing this ever increasingly depressed sounding Jack and Jill song, which like every time he sings it, he gets even more like choked up, like, oh, like it's weird. His performance is bizarre, as you would probably come to expect from somebody like Tiny Tim, who is not typically in films. I would definitely pair this up with another film that isn't very widely available. You can find it on YouTube, called Home Sweet Home, starring Body by Jake, the guy who used to, sell you exercise equipment on late night television in the 1980s. Again, a character very over the top. This focuses on this also falls into the regional kind of category as well. Definitely very psychosexual, over-the-top kind of elements. Just bizarre movie all the way through. Definitely low budget. The acting is like indescribable. What really sells this, though, is the restoration that Vinegar Syndrome did on it. Whenever people talk about great restorations that really save a film that typically was never in a good print or anything elsewhere, one of my favorite go-tos is Blood Harvest, just because it makes this movie look amazing and, you know, a little bit easier to take. But if you like over-the-top, goofy, definitely nonsensical, what-the-fuck kind of movies, Blood Harvest is your jam. And is also a great mini documentary on Tiny Tim. I believe there's an interview. So if you're interested in Tiny Tim at all, it's worth it just for that. He's definitely an interesting character in history, and yeah, the music, all that kind of stuff. So definitely check that out. Next up, 70s style film. I haven't talked about a lot of 70s stuff, but this one kind of surprised me. I had a ton of fun with it. Great, like, kung fu revenge. Great theme to it, and that is Death Promise. Hell yeah. This is just a blast all the way through. Great. You get the two main characters, one who is, I think he's supposed to be Asian, but it's like the whitest dude on the planet. And you also get his partner, black guy, and their, I believe it's their father is murdered by this, there's some kind of, like, gang of rich, elite, real estate people. I believe this takes place in New York, and they, you know, kill people in order to, you know, eliminate their housing, and, you know, it's just, so after he's killed, they have to go and get revenge, and start to find out throughout the film that some of the people getting revenge on them might be closer to them than they think. Try not to spoil too much there, but yeah, Death Promise, definitely a good time. Over the top, like, kung fu action, great fun. The music's awesome. You could definitely pair this up with Righting Wrongs, and classic film. And I'm gonna end this segment, and I got the box set as well, so that's not true. But my next one, the final single film I'm gonna show, is one of my favorite movies of all time. Definitely one of my top 10 favorite horror films, and this release, once again, I was like ecstatic when they announced this, because this was not very easily available. The print on VHS I have is pretty good, looks great, but man, this is definitely a movie that for the longest time needed a Blu-ray disc release, and I love what they did with this, and that is Fade to Black from 1980. This is early on in the slasher cycle, and this is an incredible film. So basically, Eric Binford, the main character, played by Dennis Christopher, my bad. Good thing I looked. He is obsessed with, like, classic gangster films, definitely the Bela Lugosi, Dracula, the classic Universal monsters, and this is packed with references to, you know, those classic films. Dracula, White Heat is very prominent in this film, and he's really consumed by these movies, and lives with his aunt, who is taking care of him after his parents supposedly died in a car accident, and he works for a film distributor, where he is mocked and ridiculed for his, obsessive film knowledge. One of his co-workers is played by Mickey Rourke, which is really cool to see him in an early role. And ends up going crazy and getting revenge by channeling some of his favorite classic characters. Starts committing crimes as these characters and sort of getting revenge as these characters. He is the Mummy at one point. There's one, he's kind of a Hopalong Cassidy kind of cowboy character. Obviously, the most infamous is the Dracula. Just over the top. He becomes obsessed with a young woman who looks dead on like Marilyn Monroe. I can't remember her name, but she's a fantastic actress, and she's been in a few other Vinegar Syndrome releases. I'm trying not to give away a lot of this movie, because I really do feel like if you have not seen this, this is one of the best 80s slasher movies, and probably one of the best horror movies I have ever seen. It's definitely one of my favorite movies, and the fact that Vinegar Syndrome was able to get the rights to it and release it with a massive amount of interviews and making ofs and a few commentaries, this is one of the most recommended from me Vinegar Syndrome releases. Probably my favorite of the entire line. So, Fade to Black, amazing release for an amazing film. And so ending this video with the Homegrown Horrors Volume 1. So this is 3 films that are, homegrown horrors. You got a lot of great, the theme very strongly here is regional, kind of low budget, sort of backwoods kind of stuff. A lot of amazing practical effects throughout. You got uses of claymation and the over-the-top creature effects. Amazing work done in those areas, and these films are just a lot of fun. Definitely a regional vibe to all of them, and personally my favorite, even though they're all very solid, it's such a great set, but my personal favorite is Beyond Dream's Door. Sort of play on a little bit of a Nightmare on Elm Street kind of rip to this one. You got this guy who's got this book that he communicates with, and the book turns out to be evil and controlling a bunch of stuff. Just supernatural kind of stuff. It's a weird movie to describe, but I love this movie. It's a ton of fun. Kind of a weird atmosphere and vibe to it that might take you a bit to get into, but once you get into it and understand what's going on, it's a blast. Really fun movie. And for the others, just great creature effects, amazing kind of woodsy kind of vibes throughout. Fatal Exam I don't remember a lot about, but I remember having fun with it, and Winterbeast is awesome. So yeah, There is a volume 2. I'm not that big a fan of it. Really, if you're gonna get volume 2, the best film out of that is Moonstalker, which is a great, fun, like, backwoods kind of slasher film. The rest of the set I'm not as big on, but, some people do enjoy the films in there more than I do, so. But definitely, highly recommended is the first box. And yeah, that'll about do it. So like I said before, I'll be back tomorrow to talk about partner label releases. Again, I'm going to try and focus on stuff from last year, the stuff that will be on sale at the end of this week. Once again, I'm going to put the link to the Vinegar Syndrome site in the description. And if you're in Connecticut, make your way out to the archive. It's a great time. The people working there are fantastic, and they're willing to help you find, some good films. They carry a lot of the other labels. They have a great import selection. The basement filled with VHS tapes is just unbelievable. Great amount of adult films as well. I didn't really want to dive too much into the Peakorama stuff because a lot of those releases are from this year, so none of them will be discounted. The ones that I have, at least. But yeah, a lot of good stuff on that label as well. So yeah, if you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, get involved in this, and after Friday, I'm probably gonna post a video of everything I get at the sale, and then later on, probably in June, post a video of everything I get in my subscriber package for the month. I didn't do a lot this month, mostly because I'm trying to save up for the sale, but I got some good stuff, some back catalog stuff I've been wanting to grab, and without giving too much away, I have something planned for the partner labels in a series coming in the future. So keep aware of that. So yeah, that's about it. My name is Mike Manzer. This has been a Manzer Faust Productions video. Yeah, best of luck with the sale on Friday. Go out there and support an awesome label putting out amazing films. Take some chances. I talk about a lot of great films on the label, but if you want to find something that is more in line with your tastes and so on, go for it, man. There's a lot of great variety. You get some great dramas, some amazing psychological kind of character study kind of stuff. Just, there's no end to cool stuff on the label. So, yeah, best of luck, and post down in the comments what you end up getting, what your scores are, and if you have any further recommendations of stuff for people to check out, other than what I've mentioned, put it down in the comments, and let's start a discussion, and really put some great support behind a label that truly deserves it, because they put out amazing films. So yeah, that being said, once again, best of luck to all of you, and can't wait to see what you're able to get, and stay fucking metal.